This just was released by TMZ. Diddy's all smiles in Dix. He's at Fort Dix prison, and he is shown in this cell picture, smiling. Not saying he shouldn't be, but I had a couple of thoughts about it. What's your initial visceral reaction when you see this photo?
It took me a second to process what was like that. This was hair. That this was like he's graying. So, I mean,
someone said, "Is that baby oil in the background?" Y'all so stupid. Like,
oh shit, there it
is. That is baby oil in the background.
Is that? Oh my god, I didn't notice that.
That is not.
Oh my god,
that better not be.
No, that literally.
Hold on. I gotta do some research real quick. Keep talking, y'all. Hold on. Oh no.
I'm like, wait a second.
Because it has a TMZ.
No, it says baby. Mark. Yeah. Now, but in the era of again deep fakes and I don't know.
This just hit my timeline like a minute ago.
I have that in there. Why would you ever take a photo with? I mean,
the ramen. It's trending too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I never wanted. I don't care what's going on in life. I don't ever. There's two things I don't want people taking a picture of me of: in my casket and in jail.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't want pictures of that. That's not pictures I want representing me moving in life. Like I don't, especially smiling in jail. I'm not smile. I don't want to smile in picture in jail for y'all to see. This is not a good time for me. It's not something that I want to. I don't want to be here. So don't get me wrong. I want my spirits to stay up, but I don't want people to. I don't want that moment to be represented as a smiling moment. So when I saw this initially, at first I wanted to say, "Oh, well, at least he's smiling." And then when I thought that in my brain, I'm like, "Well, nigga, why are you smiling? You in jail."
You know what? I'm going to pull this because I'm checking TMZ. And while the other media outlets posted this, TMZ does not have it posted to their site. So I am going to assume that it is a fake. To be honest, the thing that, and if I had seen the baby oil, I would have been skeptical because I didn't even look there. I looked at the ramen, and I was honestly thinking, you can't eat ramen in your cell. You can't even eat ramen in your cell like that. That's what I was saying.
I mean, it's Diddy.
But this is exactly the problem, right? Is that we're being bombarded with so much information. And it's everybody wants to be first. I'm probably a victim of it a little bit right now, but this was happening as we're live. If I had gotten this before we went live, I would have, gone through the proper channels, but it was sent to me as live info. But the point is, it's a race to the bottom or a race to the top, depending on how you think about it. And it's dangerous because information gets out and you can't unring that bell. Like when I repost this, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete that out so that it won't be repeated to anyone else who sees it. But this is dangerous. This is dangerous, and it's honestly a lesson even for myself. You right? Who painted that? They got me real quick. We
should have known better. The nigga had on a Sean John outfit. We should have known.
There was
there were signs.
There were signs. There were definitely signs. It's funny now that you mention it. And now that I'm looking at all the different things, it's like, yeah.
Because the one that I was surprised because the one I'd seen before of him with the smiling picture was like him like outside in the yard kind of photo. Like I didn't see him in a cell like this. I'm still always taken aback by how warm he looks when he smiles. It's still very off-putting. Like it's still so because it goes with what I used to think of him before all this stuff came out, and then I see him smile, and it's like it's still there, and it's like
Has there ever been anybody whose image has changed as dramatically for you from our generation? I know there's OJ, but I don't think we were too young to kind of really be attached to
I just thought about him as a dude from Naked Gun. Like, right. I was like, dude from Naked Gun? Like, exactly. When my dad was like, OJ. Like,
right, exactly.
I hate to say this, whether we believe guilty or innocent, but Michael.
I'm just hearing Amani say that is blowing my mind.
I mean, if I'm being honest, whatever side of the fence you stand on, the minute that those accusations are made, the world looked at them differently. Like before that, there was some level of weirdo, some level. But at this point, most of the celebs are at that point are looked at as weirdo in whatever way, or eccentric, right? Or maybe there was an eccentric
to another level of. We watched a little video the other day. You know, we were like, oh yeah, we forgot about all of this.
Yeah, Michael's image and how we perceived him, and I'm not saying we because I don't perceive him anyway, but for the general population, it changed overnight. Like
it's interesting you say that because I feel like there's so many people in the public who still held on to their image of Mike and just decided to ignore that.
Yeah, but then he was.
I know.
Not me.
I may have been one of those a little bit, but because I was like, I need more proof. It was a bad time, but it's also I also thought for him, it was a bit slower because of it was like incremental kind of like again the weirdness things got weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder, and then almost by that period, I don't know what I was doing in the world, but I felt like it wasn't as dramatic. And again, someone said R. Kelly too. And that was an interesting one because again, that was one that we knew about in ninth grade, let's say with Aaliyah, right? So it wasn't like completely, out of nowhere. And so we all kind of like had our suspicions. And then for me, it was when I read that was the Vibe article and like when the Best of Both Worlds tour when they were doing that. And I read that article and I was like, oh, it's a wrap for him. Like that's when I dated him back in like 0102. But yeah, I can't. I mean, the Diddy one though, it just definitely felt very dramatic. Like it felt like it was one day and then, but again, if I had to think about it, people had always been talking about he was kind of gangster, but you're kind of like, nah, like Diddy, like he's, it just for those who weren't in the know, it just was, we were oblivious to the kind of, strong arming people and all of this other stuff that we'd heard about. Particularly, I mean, in reality shows do a funny thing too, because I think for those who watched Making of the Band, we felt like it was like endearing. You know what I'm saying? Like there was like, oh, like, like I was like, that's when my crush really developed. I had a Diddy crush for sure. Like many of us at the time. I did. Like watching Making It a Band, he was, money did him right. And then, he was just like, he had a personality. He was funny. It was like,
he embodied everything that we wanted to exude and everything that we wanted to be a part of within hip hop culture. Not even just hip hop, because he represented something higher than hip hop at the moment. He was in all the places that you wouldn't think the hip hop person could be.
Right. I remember I wanted to work my dream job at the time. Remember I told you what my dream job was? I wanted to work at, what is it, Daddy? I thought it was
Daddy's house.
That was my dream job, working at Daddy's house, because I wanted to do nonprofit work for youth. And I could be like, I was young. I could be a little bit in the mix. I'm all hip hop. I'm like, oh, I could be what? I get the best of everything. I was like, yeah, that was my dream job. And then you start thinking about like, what if I actually had that job? Like, yeah. I mean, it's
how times changed. No, I mean, I think when I think about people who have had that precipitous drop, Diddy would be maybe the harshest one, just because I think that, like with the other name I was thinking of was Bill Cosby.
I was gonna say Bill Cosby was the one that I think to this day will probably be.
I think what makes Diddy harsher than Bill is that there aren't a lot of people defending Diddy's actions. Like there are people who still think Bill Cosby was part of a conspiracy. They still think he's about to buy NBC. So there's a way that his image is slightly protected by people who just who will never believe that shit. Whereas with Diddy, everybody's like, yeah, he did all of that. There might be a but after it.
Yeah, it's whether they think it's okay. Whether they feel like there's room for it, there's license, where people are still, despite how many victims, how many everything comes out with Bill Cosby, how many people are very clear. I mean, again, by his own admission, like even the words from his own mouth, people are still like, I don't believe it. Like,
right. Right.
And that was a huge, I mean, particularly because his role was also very different than the one that Diddy had in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like he was still, I mean, he was like our television dad. So to go from our television dad to a rapist is very different than going to our hip hop brother. You know what I'm saying? Like to
the Diddy thing still to this day, it messes me up because I really was inspired by that dude. Like in a real honest, genuine way. Also being able to like have moments where I actually saw the man. And I remember my first campaign as in my R&B group, we did a campaign for Sean John. Like, like as a young 17-year-old kid, doing this campaign to promote Sean John and feeling like I'm a part of something that I always want to work and be a part of, and his name was attached to it, and to meet him and get that pat, like, yo, you're doing your thing. But to find out that he was that type of person in whatever way, whether people feel like it's the most egregious or most whatever it is, it was really heartbreaking. And it you know, the Bill Cosby thing is, I just watched the show and I wasn't really attached to Bill in the way that a lot of people were. Diddy was like, I saw myself in a space where I wanted to work with Diddy and I wanted to be around Diddy and I wanted to do the things that Diddy did. And then you find out that the things that he's doing is all this other shit. You're like, it kind of, it ruins the dream.
Is there anything Diddy could do to recover that, to be who he was?
I don't know. Atonement just looks different on everybody. Just some level of genuine atonement, some level of real rehabilitation, some real acknowledgement of the wrongdoings, away from just, you know, a court sentencing hearing. And I just need those moments to really, for me to feel that is genuine. And then at that point, I don't think that anything he's done while he's still alive and he's still breathing and he still has, you know, sense and the ability to change things, I don't think that there's anything that he can't do to not change that for me. I do think that it's going to take some time, though. It's going to be a process. It's going to be him actually putting some action out there along with the words for it to start matching. Like, if you come out of prison and you say you're sorry and doing this, and I still hear that you're having these freak offs, or you still on a boat, I can't rock with you.
Yeah.
You know, change behavior has to happen.
And I would be curious. I would want to know what the people who, you know, feel most victimized by him, what they would want to see. You know, like how could they be made whole? You know, because that's the thing that I'm not clear about that. But for me, like, I mean, honestly, he's also just, again, he's very charming. He's very good at what he does. And he was able to sort of, you know, get the keys to the city and all types of all kind of accolades, because he's able to sort of, despite whatever he's doing, sort of win people over and lie, manipulate, and just be, you know, be whatever. And so like I just don't, I don't know how much I would believe whatever he would be doing or saying if we got out. I don't know what he could actually do to clear things up either, despite, I don't know how that works really, you know. And again, I would be curious. I would probably defer a little bit more to the people who were most victimized by him. Because again, I want to be clear too, because, you know, like the thing that bothered me about, and I don't know whether people also felt this about it because of this homophobia. You know, the fact that like how much of what he was like him being judged for the things that were just, you know, not where people thought were sort of atypical in terms of sexual, you know, proclivities or behavior, whatever, that not be the thing that people are most upset about, but it's actually, you know, again, the victimizing and, you know, the abuse and the trafficking and people doing things against their own will, you know, like that's the thing that needs to be clear. Because again, whatever he does sexually, I don't, you know, as long as people either consent and, you know, that's something else. But like, you know, it feels like that was also brought into the sort of the disappointment that so many people had with him was like not the beating the shit out of Cassie and watching that shit on television in front of our eyes, or, you know, anything else that people sort of talked about. I mean, rapes and all types of everything. Yeah, I don't know how anybody comes back from those things. That's why I'm also a little bit more, you know, angry or just believe in a little bit more punishment when it comes to those kinds of things too.